Welcome to The Legacy Shift, the podcast for cycle-breaking mothers and conscious leaders raising liberated, legacy-building children. I'm your host, Patricia Abdallah, TEDx speaker, generational healing guide, and mother of four on a mission to end inherited pain and parent with power. Each week, we'll dismantle generational patterns, reclaim your truth, and anchor into a new legacy, one that begins with you. You won't find perfection here, just healing, truth-telling, and the sacred work of becoming the parent your children don't need to heal from. Let's break the cycle together. Welcome to podcast episode number 3. Today, we are talking about gentle parenting, how gentle parenting isn't permissive, it's revolutionary. You may hear my 1-year-old, he is right beside me. And this is the reality. Not always going to be able to have those quiet moments to record all the episodes. And we are here today with my 1-year-old. So you may hear him. Yes, right? Thank you. So gentle parenting isn't permissive, it's revolutionary. I touched a little bit on this in my last episode, and I'm so passionate about this because there's a lot going around on social media, or there's a lot of older generations who are saying, oh, today's generation is just so gentle. They just need a hard hand and all these other things. I am here today to break this down. So if you've ever felt judged or different in your parenting, how you parent with softness and structure, this episode is meant to set you free from that. I've been a parent for 10 years now, and I don't know how that happened, but 10 years now, I've been judged to my face, but also behind my back. I was judged very early on throughout the whole process. I was judged for how I, again, did my labor and deliveries, how I did home births. I was judged for that process, choosing a midwife over an OB. I was judged as my children grew up for how I fed them, what I fed them, when I fed them, the school that I chose for them to go to, staying home instead of putting them in daycare. I was judged for all of it. And as they grow up, I'm now being judged for how I parent their bigger emotions, how I handle those situations. And because I'm not handling them the same way that they've always been handled. And this is the key component of generational healing. We're not doing the same thing because the same thing doesn't work. We're making change. So I used to worry about being judged in those moments. I used to worry if I was at a family gathering and, oh, well, I'm going to hold space for this child in this moment. But then I would see other people looking at me like, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? She just needs to ground him. She just needs to put a hard hand on him. She needs to give him a timeout. And that's not what I do. I don't do that. So now I don't really mind what other people are thinking about, but that's part of the growth journey, and that's okay. You're going to get judged one way or another. You're going to get judged if you do it right. You're going to get judged if quote unquote right. You're going to get judged if you quote unquote do it wrong. So just parent how you choose to parent is my suggestion. Gentle parenting isn't permissive. And I mentioned this in the last episode as one of my myths. So if you listen to the last episode, myth number 5 was the myth that gentle parenting is weak or permissive. But honestly, conscious parenting is one of the hardest and most amazing things that you can do as a parent. It is so hard to be a conscious parent. It is so courageous. You are so amazing if you're being a conscious parent. And it's what we need to do in order to heal. So back to my journey here, I now understand that being different does not equal bad, and that judgment is just noise. So I would be in situations where I felt I needed to parent the way that those people were parenting. So if I was like, for instance, with my sister and her kids, I felt like I'd have to parent like my mom parented for approval and for just to fit in and things like that. But now I realize that parenting different does not equal me being bad, and that the judgment that I receive is just noise. At the end of the day, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for nurturing and raising my children. My sister's not responsible. My cousins aren't responsible. My friends aren't responsible. My mom's not responsible. I am responsible. It's my husband and mine's responsibility to raise and nurture our children. So at the end of the day, Anybody can say what they want to say about how we parent, but we are being responsible in how and choosing how we choose to raise our children and what we are looking for in nurturing that process. So I've really learned to separate myself from the external noise and judgment and truly just be. And there's so much magic in just being. So, what is gentle parenting? It's the understanding of your child's emotions. I see gentle parenting as seeing your child for who they are, asking them questions, learning about who they are. Just because you gave birth to them or are a father or a mother figure to them does not mean that you know who they are. They are constantly changing, just as we are constantly changing as adults. So we need to provide them with the opportunity to express who they are and what they enjoy doing, what they don't enjoy doing, and all of the above. So it's understanding your child's emotions, giving them a safe place for seeing who they are. It's also, gentle parenting is also regulating your own nervous system. If you don't have a regulated nervous system, you're probably yelling more, you're probably getting irritated more, you're probably showing up in just anger and angst and fear and shame. But if you regulate your nervous system, you're able to now reparent yourself so that you can show up for your children. I remember being at an event with my mom and my aunts, and they were talking about how parents of today are way too much gentle parenting, and some kids just need a good spanking. And I was so triggered in that moment. I didn't speak up because I was a minority there, as in I still felt like, oh, it's little Patricia. She doesn't know what she's doing, whatever. But I was so triggered by that. And I remember thinking about that afterward and sending my mom an article about the psychological effects of spanking. And it was never acknowledged or communicated back that she received it or any communication about it. But the fact that I sent that article about the psychological effects of spanking, this is me declaring that I'm different and that I will never accept any sort of spanking going on. And the way that they were speaking about the parents of today, there's just way too much parenting going on. Some kids just need a good spanking. That just goes to show you the amount of generational healing that does need to occur in today's society and in today's parents. So all these people were saying, well, it worked for us. Our children turned out fine. And you probably hear this, you probably see this on social media, but it worked for us. At least our children listen. Oh, great. Your children listen at what expense? What expense do your children listen to? Are they fearing you? Do you have a good relationship with them? Do they hide from you? Do they open up to you? Later on in life, did they get into not some good things because they didn't feel safe? Or are they now healing from the way they were raised? Is there open communication in a relationship? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. So to say that I was appalled at this statement was really big an understatement. I was very triggered. They were first judging parents for taking a different approach. Secondly, they were not opening up that there is an ability to change in the way that we raise and nurture our children. So what gentle parenting is not is coddling, taking things out of their helicopter parenting or lawnmower parenting where they take things out. But what gentle parenting is lays the foundation for emotional intelligence in our children. So it allows us to regulate the nervous system of our children. It allows you to have regulated children in return, and then children who know how to handle their emotions growing up and moving forward. I'm not saying this is all at one time. Of course, there's going to be different times when different emotions arise, but as a regulated nervous system, you allow them space to be able to have those feelings. Number two, it allows you to show calm when there are big emotions, and it shows children that they can feel safe to feel. It's to be. It allows children to be, and it allows them to feel loved and accepted no matter what. Number three, gentle parenting is acceptance over fear. Your child will never fear speaking their mind. They'll never fear making mistakes, and they'll never fear failing because they're always going to know that you love and support them no matter what, and that communication is open. And number four, what gentle parenting is true unconditional love. So there you have it. Gentle parenting is not permissive. It's revolutionary, and you as a parent are being revolutionary. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next episode. If this episode spoke to your soul, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps more cycle breakers like you find this movement. And if you're ready to go deeper, I have a special gift for you. The Legacy Reset mini course I'm offering you completely free. This is valued at $297. Inside, you'll learn the exact steps to start breaking generational cycles and resetting your family's legacy. You can grab it now through the link in the show notes. You'll also find my free guide, Breaking the Cycle, 7 Shifts Every Conscious Parent Must Make. Until next time, keep healing, keep leading, and keep rewriting the story for generations to come.